Welcome back to the MLS Show. We are now looking at the rest of the action from this weekend. Beginning in the first game of the weekend, saw New York City go to San Jose.
0-0.
And
nice one.
Very un-MLS-like.
No, it's 0-0.
It's 0-0.
I don't talk about 0-0s in MLS, so move on. I just don't do it. There's no place for there's no place for 0-0s in MLS. I think these two should be docked points for drawing 0-0, or a very strong letter should be sent
very
to
strongly
the senator of both states, because it's not on.
Okay. Not further evidence.
It's un-American.
Not further evidence.
It's un-American.
Not further.
It's un-American to draw 0-0 in MLS. It's un-American.
Not further evidence that Patrick Vieira is shoring them up great on the road.
It's un-American to draw 0-0.
Should we talk about?
And in these times of heightened patriotism, I feel like it could have sparked some kind of.
Let's move on. DC United 2, Philadelphia Union 2. Ped, you kind of, I feel as though you've hexed Union. I feel like I do, because the other week.
Didn't I just say that they were going a downward spiral?
You said they were going on a downward spiral. There was no evidence of downward spirals.
Surely there was. The evidence was that I said they were going on a downward. Surely that was enough evidence. What more evidence do people need that I actually said it and it's actually happened?
Right, okay. Philadelphia Union went obviously to DC United. Went behind Taylor Kemp, putting DC ahead, but responded really well. You know, went 2-1 up.
Yeah.
Some great, both goalkeepers actually made fantastic saves, Hamid and Blake. Brilliant. Got into the 94th minute. It was very Everton-like. It was just a case of see this last cross out. And Birnbaum comes in with a header at the far post to get a decent point. Jim Curtin's men, they're still in there though.
And they've bought, haven't they?
So they took Charlie Davis from the New England Revolution, of course, and I'm going to get his name wrong. The boy,
they brought him over from France, haven't they? So
people, our American friends, a couple of them have
left.
I've still got them. You were alienating them, but I've said that people aren't too excited by that coming back from France. And it's just the fact that he plays for the men's national team. Publicity stunts.
No, I think they've strengthened. I think they've come out of the window stronger. They've let LaRue go, haven't they? So he's gone. So
Danny LaRue, mate. He went later.
They've let him go, and I think they've strengthened, and this actually might have been a good point. It's a bit of a derby, isn't it? So
I mean, I suppose they just got to keep it going. If this could be their bump in the road, I suppose, where can you stay in when it's not going well? They've got. For me, I think it's a decent point. I think DC, Ben Olsen trying to, chop and change their side. Lloyd Sam's coming. He's trying to make them more solid. They're a strange side, DC, for me. Some weeks they look really good, other weeks they're all over the place, but a decent point for both. Montreal 1, Houston Dynamo 0. Didier Drogba, of course, suspended for that stupid knee in the back. Montreal keeping it going, but Houston, they can't get a win. They can't buy a win.
It's because they're rubbish.
I know, but you just
just got rid of one of their best players. So,
but you look at them, don't you, and you think, how do these change what they're in at the moment? Because they're just stuck.
They're just rubbish
in the middle and up. Yeah, but how did they change? It's okay saying they're rubbish.
Well, they can't change, can they? They've basically just sacrificed their season, haven't they? They've got, they're not going it. They've basically decided that they're not going to make the playoffs, and they've basically, that's it. They're done for the season. Now that's not something you can do in other leagues, but in a league where there's no relegation, you can do that.
Okay, so again, then, is this the
experiment?
Is this experimental time? I remember us discussing this kind of last year at Chicago Fire, didn't we, when Frank Yallop got sacked and they weren't going anywhere. Is that the time to start looking ahead for next season?
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe now they'll start looking at younger players or other systems or whatever, and just and try something different. But they're not getting into the playoffs. They haven't got a chance. And maybe now is the time to experiment and get ready for next season.
Obviously, Matteo Mancuso scored the goal there. Montreal, just a quick thing with them. They looking good again, aren't they?
Plodding on, and obviously a good win without Drogba as well. That's always good. So I mean, he's not only their only good player, obviously, but no, keep on keeping on.
Piatti for me, still for them, he holds the key. So I mean, they're full of good players, aren't they, Montreal? Colorado 2, Vancouver 0. I got the score right. Yes. Clean sheet for Tim Howard again.
Good result. Bounce back from the defeat of by New York. So important that they've kept going, because obviously they're up there. It's they've not been that good aside for the last 2 or 3 years. So you worry about a defeat like that. But it looks like that it might have just been one of those games where everything New York hit just went in, and it happens now and again. It's happened to better teams than them. So that's a really good win. And Vancouver just seems to be plodding along. I think they're just below the red line, aren't they, at the moment? So it's.
I mean, if we just get the Hairston, I had him down as well, mate. Look, he scored the opening goal. But if we just look at the table there, I mean, we've got Colorado 41 points, 3 behind Dallas now. Like you say, a clean sheet, of course, for Tim Howard there. Vancouver, as you rightly said, just below the line, 2 points away from Portland Timbers. So, there's 10 games to go there. They've got to try and kick it up a level, haven't they? But still a good sort of. They're one of them, I think, Vancouver. I like them. I think obviously if Barnes has gone in there, hasn't he, if he can start doing things, Carl Robinson needs to try and get their home form better, because last season they were brilliant at home.
Built on that.
This year they've struggled. Real Salt Lake 3, Chicago Fire 1. Chicago Fire again not performing.
No, this is just another easy win, wasn't it? Easy win. Chicago Fire again. It's struggling. They're just struggling. They struggled last season, and they just haven't kicked on. They're not. I don't know. They haven't brought in enough good players. Doesn't seem to be a place that can, attract very good big names, and they're in danger now of losing probably the only talent they've got, you would think, coming into the end of the season. So not really that difficult for Real Salt Lake, and again they're in the mix, but without having to be spectacular in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Morales scored, one of his goals was fantastic. Garcia as well. They just tick along quite nicely, don't they? Real Salt Lake, they just stay in the mix. Like you say, Chicago Fire bottom of the Eastern Conference, while Real Salt Lake third now.
Yeah, they just tick along nicely.
So when you look, at 7 points ahead of Vancouver on the same game, so that's a big lead.
Yeah, you'd think they're a shoo-in now for the playoffs.
Lead,
yeah,
so
definitely.
They've responded really well from last season, of course. Doing okay as we moved on. Ped. Portland Timbers 3, Sporting Kansas City 0.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know really, because Sporting.
I thought it was quite a tight game.
Yeah, I mean, we had the two senders off that were both pretty.
Sending off for you?
Neither.
Not Chara, no, not for the. I don't think you can shove someone in the face.
Well, I thought Benny played his part in that one big time, but I thought the I thought the Sporting Kansas red card was absolutely a joke. I thought it was an absolute joke. I thought he was late without being overly malicious, and
yellow card.
I just thought it was a yellow, but the refs, MLS, well, we know what the refs, and Blaze scores an absolutely wonder goal, and 2 goals late on have sort of put a bit of a shine on the scoreline.
Can't let it go though without Darlington Nagby sending people the chippy.
Well, we spoke about Nagby last week, and he's had a bit of a quiet season now. We thought it might have affected Timbers, and he showed up in this game, and a fantastic setup, and
even the first goal, he plays the initial turn, so he plays the initial ball out wide from which Valeri scores, but that second one for Jack Dewsbury.
Well, it was going to take something like Valeri's goal to maybe unlock it a little bit, but Sporting have been doing quite well recently, playing well at home, done really well, and maybe it just wasn't hot enough for them. They like playing in the mid-afternoon sun, don't
Didn't
they?
have the right kit
No.
on. But, I mean, you know, we discussed it last week, didn't we, in terms of the standings and everything else. I mean, Sporting Kansas City, 34 points, recovered quite well, 4 points ahead of Vancouver, although Vancouver have a game in hand. Portland, you know, 6th there, 2 points ahead of the...
Just brought Steven Taylor in.
Steven Taylor, let's just quickly discuss.
Very quickly.
We said we thought he'd be a good addition.
Yeah.
He played for Portland Timbers' second
Yeah.
team. He only played half a game.
Yeah.
He scored an own goal.
Yeah.
And he left, I think he was involved in the second goal.
Yeah.
And he left the pitch
Yeah. 3-0
at half
down.
time, 3-0 down.
And they won 4-3.
He won 4-3.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah. I still think he'll be alright.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I think he'll be alright, Steven Taylor. If you haven't watched us discussing Portland Timbers and Steven Taylor, you probably don't need to watch it now. Make your own mind. Don't listen to us. Oh God. Orlando City 1, Seattle 3.
Seattle getting the bounce, the new manager bounce, or, you know, the Schmidt gone.
The Schmelz bound. You know what?
Shiggy gone.
Right, Shiggy out of the door. Orlando started the game brilliantly. Seb Hines, I'm saying brilliantly, terrible marking off a corner, but a lovely header. Although it was all Seattle's own doing. Bad back pass, keeper slices it corner. Seb scores. Orlando had a little flurry, but Seattle just pushed their two fullbacks, Tyrone Mears especially, right up, and they just caught Orlando out so many times.
Orlando can't defend.
And you know, this is a problem for Jason Christ. It's a real problem. Adrian Heath couldn't quite do it, and Christ can't do it.
Would it not help if Orlando bought defenders?
They've got Aja, haven't they, the fella from South America, or Ayer, or however you say his name. He's just sits on the bench, so he's come in, doesn't play. I'm trying not to be overcritical, but Kevin Alston at right back. When's Rafa Ramos fit, please? Please let me know. Luke Bowden, who had an excellent season last season, looks all over the place. They just look all at sea.
They're not organised, are they?
The first goal, Mears gets in round the back, cuts it back, and it's a tap in for Clint Dempsey. He's on his own, believe it or not. Would you leave Clint Dempsey on his own? The second goal was what the kids describe as a sweaty goal on FIFA. Ball played through.
The ball over the top was good.
It was a great ball.
Why are Orlando playing such a high line if they haven't got the pace at the back?
David Matios, honest to God, he needs to leave now to get there on Saturday because he's that slow. He was all over the place. And then the third goal's a sweaty goal. The exact carbon copy of the second goal. Ball through, Morris runs through, squares it, Dempsey puts it in, and then they miss one later, the same thing again. And Orlando, they had little moments where they were unlucky. The crossbar and the post in the same attack. Baptista's the bar, Seb Hines it's the post. But it was too easy for Seattle.
Yeah.
You know, and 17 games unbeaten at the Camping World Stadium. And he went, the most disappointing thing for me was he went...
What it's called?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I like the Citrus Bowl better. But he went down in a bit of a whimper. And I think if I was Jason Christ, I'd be a little bit worried about there was no response after half time.
Some good news for Orlando this week. The Hulk ride's reopened.
It has.
Do you know what I mean?
The Hulk ride.
The Hulk ride is reopened in the Islands of Adventure. Yeah. So, you know, you take the rough with the smooth, Baz, you know.
You've got to. I mean,
it's open, it's back.
Family going out there next week and they'll be riding it. We're just
it's
here.
It's back.
The Hulk is
we'll be there next year, Baz.
The Hulk is back. The Hulk is back. But no, Orlando, I mean, great away win for Seattle. Yeah. Really impressive.
Done really well since
Schmelz gone. Yeah, Shiggy's done one. Dempsey, Jordan Morris, who I like as a player anyway, they done really well. Orlando fans, Nocerino and Carrasco don't work in the middle of the pitch. That's all I'm going to say. Doesn't work, and it doesn't work. Let's move on. Final game of the night, LA Galaxy against the Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls.
Controversial.
It was a
controversial.
A berserk, controversial game. It was a game that Red Bulls, I thought, played really well. Jesse Marsh, really well. took a 2-goal lead, but should have had 2 penalties.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, New York, okay, debatable whether LA should have had a penalty earlier on when Gerrard was pushed. It might have been just outside the box.
Yeah.
Gerrard's done the old classic Gerrard stumble into the box, which we're so familiar with. It was clearly was a foul and he hasn't given it. Then New York on 2-0 up, absolutely cruising, but the 2 decisions, I mean, the goalkeeper has took him out twice. How?
The Alex Mule one, which is the one where the keeper comes around the corner, it was a penalty, it was a foul, but the second one, I can't even remember who it was now, who's in the box, but the keeper just takes his legs. For me, it's a stonewall penalty, and I think that was at 2-1. And then go down the other end. Now, a lot of people, Ashley Cole scores the equaliser, people saying Cole was offside. He wasn't offside because it come off the defender's head.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And it was a great finish.
Gerrard in with the cross.
Gerrard with the cross again. That's obviously the goal for, he was involved with Mike McGee's goal.
Yeah, had the knockdown.
It's not offside because it hits the defender. But if you're, we can understand Jesse Marsh was obviously sent from for kicking off. Went up and hugged the 4th official, clapped him, give him a hug. You can understand why they're furious, can't you? Because
definitely. Well, I mean, those 2 decisions alone were just diabolical, and then you see, you see your team lose the 2-0 lead. You're gonna be a bit angry. You're gonna be a little bit angry. So both good goals from LA Galaxy.
Yeah, they were good goals.
Not give up, haven't give up, but. It just shows, doesn't it, where this league is this season. Everyone thought LA Galaxy with the team they'd put together, and Ashley Cole and bringing in Van Dam and these kind of players. Everyone thought they were just going to romp away with it, but
I mean,
it's not happening, is it?
They're in 4th, 37 points, 2 games in hand. Of course, will take them to within a point of Dallas, but you've got to win those games in hand. And road games in MLS is difficult.
And exactly the same. They're not romping away with anything, either, even if they win the games in hand, and it's been very, very tough.
Ironically, though, they've got the best goal difference with +15. Everyone else is next best is Rapids with +7 and +6. But like you say, it's those. I mean, you look at home, they're unbeaten at the StubHub, and on the road they've won 3 of their 11 games. So. It is difficult. They've got to. They obviously want to win the Supporters Shield. They've got to make a move now, haven't they? Because the Dallas are, Dallas are churning it out, aren't they? So they're gonna have to make that move. But a good point for them from being 2-0 down. Red Bulls will be devastated. I've seen some of the fans tweeting, and they were just pure anger about what they'd seen. So, and you would be from being 2-0. And that for as away games go, that's a bit of a distance. So that's a bit of a distance. So you'd be devastated. So it's the officiating in MLS we've all grown to love, I suppose. So yeah. Well, one thing I didn't mention from the Orlando Seattle game, Ladero was absolute mint for Seattle. Brought him in. He was brilliant last week against Portland. He was fantastic for Seattle this week. A proper number 10, if you like. He was absolutely brilliant. But
it's not hard, all you've got to do though is just lob the ball over the top.
I mean, Orlando did make it pretty easy for him, let's be honest. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, particularly about the Red Bulls. I think we know what you're going to say. Was it should they have had penalties? And what about the sendings off Sporting and for Chara for Portland? Where do you stand on them? Let us know in the comments section below. And how can Orlando City learn to defend? Let me know.
The Hulk's open.
And let Jason Christ know as well. The Hulk is open. Ped is right. We'll catch you next time on the MLS Show. Welcome back to the MLS Show. We are now looking at the rest of the action from this weekend. Beginning in the first game of the weekend, saw New York City go to San Jose.
0-0.
And
nice one.
Very un-MLS-like.
No, it's 0-0.
Through 0-0.
I don't talk about 0-0s in MLS, so move on. I just don't do it. There's no place for there's no place for 0-0s in MLS. I think these two should be docked points for drawing 0-0, or a a very strong letter should be sent to
very strongly
the
worded
senator of
email
of both states, because it's not on.
Okay. Not further evidence.
It's un-American.
Not further evidence.
Un-American.
Not further.
It's un-American to draw 0-0 in MLS. It's un-American.
Not further evidence that Patrick Vieira is
No,
shoring them up great on the road.
It's un-American to draw 0-0.
Should we talk about?
And in these times of heightened patriotism, I feel like it could have sparked some kind of.
Let's move on. DC United 2, Philadelphia Union 2. Ped, you kind of, I feel as though you've hexed Union. I feel like I do, because the other week.
Didn't I just say that they were going a downward spiral?
You said they were going on a downward spiral. There was no evidence of downward spirals.
Surely there was. The evidence was that I said they were going on downward. Surely that was enough evidence. What more evidence do people need that I actually said it and it's actually happened?
Like our American friends, a couple of them
He left.
I've still got them. You were alienating them, but I've said that people aren't too excited by that coming back from France, and it's just the fact that he plays for the men's national team. Publicity stunts.
No, I think they've strengthened. I think they've come out of the window stronger. They've let LaRue go, haven't they? So
yeah, he's gone.
So
Danny LaRue, mate. He went later ago.
They've let him go, and I think they've strengthened, and this actually might have been a good point. It's a bit of a derby, isn't it? So
I mean, I suppose they just got to keep it going. If this could be their bump in the road, I suppose, where can you stay in when it's not going well? They've got. For me, I think it's a decent point. I think DC, Ben Olsen trying to, chop and change their side. Lloyd Sam's coming. He's trying to make them more solid. They're a strange side, DC, for me. Some weeks they look really good, other weeks they're all over the place. But a decent point for both. Montreal 1, Houston Dynamo 0.
Yeah.
Didier Drogba, of course, suspended for that stupid knee in the back. Montreal keeping it going, but Houston, they just can't get a win. They can't buy a win.
That's because they're rubbish.
No, but you just
just got rid of one of their best players. So,
but you look at them, don't you, and you think, okay, Philadelphia Union went obviously to DC United. Went behind Taylor Kemp, putting DC ahead, but responded really well. Went 2-1 up.
Yeah.
Some both goalkeepers actually made fantastic saves, Hamid and Blake, brilliant. Got into the 94th minute. It was very Everton-like. It was just a case of see this last cross out, and Birnbaum comes in with a header at the far post to get a decent point. Jim Curtin's men, they're still in there though.
Yeah,
Still,
and they've bought, haven't they? So
he took Charlie Davis from the New England Revolution, of course, and I'm going to get his name wrong. The boy,
they brought him over from France, haven't they? So